We are live. Let me just send those notifications here. Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing? um, and
Hello.
yeah, I am joined here by a special guest today. Why don't
Hello.
Why don't you introduce yourself?
I am Dr. Hep, known as Dr. Greed for most of the Rebel folks, as Metal has named me. I have been doing recaps and trying to live stream most of the playoffs games here in the minus playoff.
Cool.
As I am also a former minor coach in this season as well.
Nice. And we'll be joined by a third guest shortly here, but he is just coming along, so he'll be here in one moment. So let's talk about the minors playoffs.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times we've done this. I think this is the sixth. Yes, it is. It says it on the screen there. But this
Yeah,
is
exactly.
for a Rebel playoff spot, not Rebel, Rebel. So
Yeah,
whoever
exactly.
wins this gets their ticket punched straight to the big show, which is
Yep.
super exciting for an up and coming coach. And
Oh yeah, totally.
I've got up on my stream here, or on my screen, the first guy who hopes to be punching that ticket, and that would be Ursa. Is it Ursa or just Urse?
Urse, only
Urse.
Urse. I've actually asked him specifically about this.
Yeah. With
And Urse here has actually never lost a game so far in his minors.
ooh.
So he is actually saying that he really hopes that he wins this because it sounds so much cooler to have being set to be able to say that he can win everything from in minors rather than I won everything except the finals.
Yep. Yeah. No. It's you don't want to be the guy that goes all the way only to stumble over the last hurdle. But
Yep.
his lizard team looks quite nice, but obviously there's a couple big question marks here. The first and most obvious being he's only going to be going into this with 5 Saurus because Za of the Sun is MNG'd,
Yep.
which is...
Um, Also, hi, Shidora.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, and our third guest is here.
Yep,
Why don't you introduce
My match
yourself?
went a little long, and I was not paying attention. So
That's
yeah,
all good.
yeah.
it's alright.
Looks like the game is
So-
underway, though.
Yeah, we're taking a quick look at the teams here real quick. If the game's underway, let's go look at the opponent first. So Lizard team looks nice, but let's talk about this Chorf team just briefly and how it looks better than some of the majors Chorf teams that
Yeah.
I've seen.
Yeah, this Shove team is really scary. Spam guard, got a claw, mighty blow, stand firm, kick off, 2 sure hands. I mean, you got what you need for it.
Yeah, this is going to be a headache for the Wizards to deal with, and this is, of course, SladeBlackMage.
Yep.
Slade the Black Mage, I think, but he's just Slade Black Mage in game.
Slade Black Mage. He goes under SladeBlackMage on Twitch, actually streaming from his side.
Oh, nice. So if
Yeah,
you guys
so
are
we
curious
should-
to see the in-game perspective from one coach's side, definitely throw up a multi-Twitch and check that out. I'm going to jump into the game now because it sounds like they are live, and they are, so...
Yeah, I can't quite express how much I wish Temperance had Dirty Player instead of a second Sure Hands. I don't think you need 2 Sure Hands, but
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
going to mention that. It's a little bit redundant. I guess he's expecting one of the Sure Hands to blow up at some point during the game, but...
Yeah, I believe he has actually killed more shows than any other minors coach. Because right now he's sitting on he actually in his past playoff games he actually Agi busted a bull for Mr. Monster and killed a hobo minus Agi and hobo and MG the hobo and the second bull as well. So he's really tearing through some other shelf teams. In the
Yeah,
playoffs.
and it looks like Urse has elected to grab a Lonersaurus with block. I don't know what kind of money he was looking at. That smells of not quite enough for Slibly.
He did
Which is a
not.
shame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he had 100k plus 90 in the bank, and Slibly's what, 240?
250.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
A
exactly.
number all Lizard coaches know. This is a very aggressive setup from Urse, so he might be looking to get in the Chorf's face early on.
Yeah, he is. With all that guard, he is giving up probably a block on his Crocs, first thing.
Yep.
And this is a replacement Crocs.
Yeah.
Ooh, following up there is a bit brave. I guess he's probably going to blitz something here, but that doesn't mean he's going to be based. Ooh, and immediately a dub skull.
Yep. Not a great start, but the Crocs gets clawed.
Or Crocs, I should say.
Ooh.
That seems to be it's a stun.
Yeah, he's fine. Just a
Yep.
Yep.
Didn't even trigger thick skull. Not a real block.
Both Mighty Blow and Claw used to do that, so...
Turns out they are good skills against UV9.
Yeah.
So yeah, and the other things I would note about this team, I don't love the lack of break tackle on the Emperor. But other than that, yeah, they are, as you guys pointed out, quite filthy.
Yeah.
We're getting a lot of Chorfs up in Lizard faces this turn. He's going to be taking some blocks on the back end. I don't hate it. You are AV9. He does have no Mighty Blow, but it does mean you are going to be, like, dropped to the ground a little bit, so...
Yeah, he's...
Be...
I can see a point being well made for really blitzing this break tackle blocks guard Urse, because it has been a really good source for us in these playoff matches as well. He's been reusing it a lot for dodging out and repositioning that guard around.
Yeah, Hua of the River is probably his best player.
Yep. I would definitely say so.
That also protects
Shame
the...
he does not have the Frenzy. The Frenzy would be huge in this matchup.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We can't really forget though that super skink that is sitting on the sideline as well. Nasty Agile 4 sprint your feet.
And that's
sidestep skink.
wise to keep him off for this drive, I think.
Totally.
As much fun as it would be to try and do some craziness with that skink, I think if you're looking at, you know, this much tackle Mighty Blow, better to keep him alive for your drive.
Yeah,
Very
I agree.
so.
And
It's unlikely he's going to turn the Chorfs over without a Lightning Bolt. I think I probably would have gone a Wizard over a block Saurus. I understand the desire, but with an Agi 4 skink, a Lightning Bolt gets real appealing against.
Oh, very much so indeed. Urse has actually been relying to win his past games with really good defensive tactics with his 2 guard sources and the rest of his sources. He actually pulled a 8-turn defense versus Drasak. So really impressive stuff there from his side.
I like how much time he's taken to think about this too. I think
It's not super obvious what he wants to do here. He's got some blocks, but they're not the best blocks in the world. His rookie Saurus is completely isolated and utterly worthless, surrounded by 3 guard door. So if he stands up, he's just getting punched, but I think you stand him up anyway. Actually, I wouldn't hate dodging him out at the end of the turn, trying to create a bit of a...
I was thinking that as well. You can dodge him out and actually mark the Sure Hands Hobgoblin just to get him out and around and to actually do something.
Yeah, I mean, you can dodge him out and he's going to probably fall over, but 1/3 of the time he doesn't.
And if he doesn't, it kind of forces the Chorfs to go backwards a little bit to deal with him, which they do not want to do.
Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't even hate committing a reroll to it. He's got 4 thanks to the kickoff event, and he's got the fame. It's unlikely Lizards run through all of their rerolls. They've all got block except for this rookie. And they're on the defense. Like, I can't really see what they'd be rerolling other than blocks anyway. So, yeah. Because that puts a lot of pressure on Slade to kind of go back and try to... Gets a knockdown on the stand firm. That is a nice start. But the guard guy is not getting involved again. I kind of like that follow-up. It did force the Lizards into having a useless guard piece.
Yeah, I think this was an aggressive base, but I don't hate it. I think he hasn't given Urse much options to really punish how aggressive he was without basing some skinks up to get the extra assists.
And it also means that this Bull Centaur is at best getting 1 died because there's no guard to put in here to make this better.
Yeah.
Very true.
If he does get that one die, he could follow up with a hit on the claw piece, though.
Good, but the thing about Chorfs is their claw pieces are armor 9.
They are.
So there would be no... I guess you could push him to the left and then he wouldn't be based. You gotta be careful.
Yeah, I guess the problem is if you don't knock him over, you're pushing him kind of... He's just going to come over and blitz you next turn. And also you could be basing him up against the Rookie Saurus. Conka.
I don't know what the blitz is going to be. He just moved this Tacklesaurus. I thought the Tacklesaurus would be blitzing for sure. He could have blitzed the Chariot out of the way to kind of, again, pressure the sides here.
Yeah. Oh, we're getting...
The blitz will come for some unexpected angle here where we can maybe work out him to move his Saurus onto the ball.
Well, he can get a 2-die now with the Rookie on this Chorf blocker, and he's going to go... Does not 1 in 9, which is nice. It always sucks when you have 1 in 9able block each turn and you end up 1 in 9.
Yep.
Yeah, that's some sucky stuff there. But as we see the knockdown happen, I wonder where he wants to position this because the movement is kind of limited.
I would have followed that up so you get the follow-up block on the claw piece there with your loner.
You can still choose to do that.
Yeah.
The problem is that he can't... yeah, if he follows it up, it's not... Oh, throws a 1-die, gets a POW. That was spicy. I don't think he needed to do that.
No, and not moving this fresh Saurus as well. If he were deciding to do the 1-die anyway, why not move it onto the Hobgoblin? Just to mark up a squishier target, so to say.
Yeah, and he definitely got quite lucky here, but it must be said he's in a pretty good position. He's he's gotten all the blocks he could get, and he's really distanced himself from the Chorfs, and that's really how Lizards win this match, is minimizing the damage.
I saw the problem that he spotted. He was time pressured, and that's why he kind of went into a panic mode and just did all the stuff.
Yeah, it's possible he misclicked because he was trying to move quickly, because I think when he threw that block, he did only have like 30 seconds left.
30 seconds left on that turn.
Also, hello everyone, welcome along.
Yeah.
Ever since Herringzord started saying that, I now do it too. But
it's so nice to be greeted though whenever you're entering his Blood Bowl match.
Yeah. And yeah, True Blue making the point that Slade, by basing everything, did leave himself open to get all his players knocked over. However, fortunately, Chorfs being Chorfs, he took no serious punishment for it.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I don't hate... He did, so, like, I think a problem that a lot of people have, and I've seen a lot of coaches do this, not blitzing with Claw is interesting. I think he would have risked the GFI even, but, a lot of players will half base, and you never half-ass anything. You have to full-ass it. So if you're going to get all mans, and sometimes it's correct to get all mans, so I don't know if it was necessarily correct there. It's important to do it in a way that commits enough players to actually force a response or force some risk from your opponent, or you're just giving up blocks. Like, not all basing is giving up blocks, but that kind of is.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's something that I, as a mentor as well, is trying to teach out that sometimes you're gonna have to go full ass in, where base everything, risk everything, because that means your opponent has to respond to that thing, and pulling that trigger is sometimes hard to know when to do when you don't have the experience ours in.
As an aside, I think there's he could Saurus Blitz 2-die the ball here.
Oh, he could. I see it.
He'd have to dodge out.
Well, he could dodge out with the break tackle, potentially.
I don't think he can get through. No. I'm talking about dodging it with the rook.
Oh, I was thinking if the loner blocks the Magician, the Guard Chorf, and then out of Hichik of Chakwa, the block Guard Saurus blocks the Chorf blocker. If he gets both of them over, then that opens up at least a 1-die on the ball.
You can run around and take away an assist. Yeah, you can get a 1-die.
Yeah. Well, it's the Guard Chorf is the one that's annoying the Chariot there.
Yeah, but that does require 255% blocks. So
it does.
Odds of success are pretty low, but I think you go for it. You certainly start to go for it. There's no reason not to.
Take that first block against the Magician and see what happens, you know?
Yeah, it's a loner block, so it's a bit scary, but it's only a 1 in 36. It's not that bad.
I would even maybe considering to just move one of the skinks in front of the bull center on the right side, just to pressure and that right side, and just to stop some kind of movement forward on that side. Maybe
Yeah,
it
and
was
also it just draws the
Urse.
blitz, and there's no good blitzer over there. Like, he's gonna get 2-died by the bull center, or even 3-died, but it's just a block hit. At least it's not a mighty blow tackle hit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's just to stop the progress from, because that bull center is soon in scoring range, and as we say, the skink, one of the skinks moving forward as well.
Yeah, that's good. Puts the blodge stepper over there too to add that extra obnoxious piece. I agree with True Blue here. The Chorfs have kind of isolated 3 of them off to the side, my left side of the screen here.
Yep, very indeed so.
Yeah, and I don't think they're going to be able to keep the lizards really effectively pinned down. Okay, so he's just taken away his ability to make it a 1-die, unless he dodges out another skink from.
He
So
may.
that would be a red die,
Yeah.
which is obviously not. I think he's probably not going to go for it. He's electing for a safer play here.
Might be so. Might be so.
Yeah. He should still
And this
take
is
those
the-
blocks, but
He's
like,
got quite a few blocks this turn, yeah.
yeah.
And this is something typical that I've seen Urse do many times, where he often chooses really heavy defending, screening off with skinks and sources, and he's really damn good at it as well. But sometimes you just really gotta pull that trigger to be able to make that decision go in.
Yeah. Lizards are probably one of the best defensive teams out there. It's really hard to deal with them. They're both their mobility and their strength. So he does get the first hit and even gets a armor break, which is huge. Gets the second knockdown, so he could have had a 1-die on the ball.
Yeah, he could still dodge a skink out, but it would not be.
It would be a
Dodge.
3+ from. And he
blocked
he's
himself.
in his own
Yeah.
way now. So
Yeah, no. So he's not going to
I
do it.
don't like not following here. I guess he doesn't want to be on the claw. I understand. He's not actually interested necessarily in sacking the ball. He's happy if he just delays the Chorfs.
Yeah.
Yep.
So now he's got a 2-die on the world. He's probably going to blitz the Emperor or perhaps the Chariot.
Well, that's looked like he wanted to block free the break tackle Saurus, so he didn't even want to risk the dodge. But
Yeah, it's sensible. Don't throw 2+ you don't need to throw.
yeah, and I guess if he had been free, he technically could have still blitzed through because he would have had the break tackle to get through the screen here. But
Yeah.
then it still would have been an uphill, so it's not like it's much better.
Now what he can do here is he can blitz the Emperor, and if he gets a knockdown, he can push the Emperor back onto... No, because then it's still gonna...
Ooh.
Never mind. He
Break
can still-
tackle does a thing.
Versus, and he's on the chariot. The defender stumbles.
That'll be good enough. He's
Yep.
safe for a turn. The Chorfs are probably going to look to switch sides here. They're fast enough, and they've got all their fastest players here, so I think it would be smart to move to where your strength is, but it's going to be hard to make the ball completely safe, unless you
Yeah.
get a lot of really good knockdowns here.
Just dodge out the skink is the last thing you do, I think.
Oh yeah, you don't take a free mighty blow hit for fun.
Yeah, there we go.
Now I would be running this skink around the other side. I think people play a little too safe with their skinks sometimes. If he was up here, up behind Death, he could be threatening some sort of action on the back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh, there it goes. Good.
There we
As
go.
if he's listening to the stream.
Well, let's see. Is anyone named?
No.
No. No, he's.
Sometimes good plays are obvious to more than just, the casters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what do you do as the Chorfs here? Because they are not in a great spot.
They're not in a great spot, but they're also not necessarily under threat here. So you've got some good blocks on this left-hand side. You probably look to blitz.
Well,
I mean, you really wish you could hit some of these tastier Saurus, but you could even claw blitz the block guard piece here. I hate that they have standard names. It makes casting this hard because lizards have stupid standard.
Yeah.
you don't know how to pronounce a Dohichik of Chakwa?
Ooh, and there's a KO. First
Ooh.
injury for the lizards. It is on their rookie Saurus. It's still a big deal.
Yeah. Getting a source out for lizards can be a snowball mechanism most of the time, where
Yeah.
many will follow.
No
Just
team feels injuries quite like Lizards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was definitely the best piece for the Wizards to lose, quote unquote. But
Well,
Yeah, exactly.
probably a
Very
skink, but
well, fair.
yeah, I get what you're saying. Skinks aren't real pieces.
I mean,
so-
if they got Agi 4 and 68 SPP, they kind of are a real piece.
Oh, he's saying here, please have a hit on my claw piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was expecting him to take the 1 die there.
Yeah. I wonder why he didn't.
Oh, he's blitzing it. I see.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, the balls on double.
Oh, and he
Oh,
dub skulls again.
Yikes.
not great dice for the Chorf so far, but
No, very much a mixed bag, though. His play has meant that he's getting fewer claw mighty blow hits than he probably wants to be. So
yeah.
there is some room for improvement in there for sure. Now this Saurus has a blitz on the ball really easily, right? I'm counting that right.
1, 2, 3, 4,
2,
5,
3, cut the
6.
corner. Yeah.
GFI, yeah. Break
Easy
tackle guy's
2-die.
got a 2+2+ for a 2-die.
Easy peasy.
Or
Hit the ball, pleasey.
bring the skink around and you don't even need to take the GFI. But I could also understand wanting to leave the skink open for retrieval.
No, you always need a GFI, I think.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you're right. I miscounted.
But either side, if where the ball tends to go, he has a pickup option with both the skinks
Yeah.
from both
Yeah,
the
so
sides.
what I would really like is him hitting it from the side and popping it into the top corner if he gets a knockdown, and then trying to pick it up and run away with Tlan. Because if Tlan can get away to space, like there's no one really that can hit him. Both the bulls are tied up,
Yeah.
and you can make sure that they stay tied up by committing some Saurus to the line.
Yeah.
Sure, it might cost
Oh,
you
yeah,
a claw mighty blow hit, but winning the game is pretty good, it turns out.
Some of you may
That's-
die, but that is a
Kinda what
sacrifice.
you want.
All right, so now we just have to hope he spots it.
Yeah. He
The
should be
first thing
looking
I do
at
with every player is basically like click on them and then count spaces to the ball. So I
Yep.
hope he's doing the same.
Yep.
At
Yep.
least he's doing it with his
Most
break
likely.
tackle, we hope, because he definitely knows how mobile that player is. I do like that the chat seems pretty evenly split, more or less, on who they want to win. I'm seeing a few people who want the Chorfs to win to end the Wizard dominance. He's doing it, by the way. And I see quite a few people who are rooting for the Wizards because Chorfs.
Now, I think I would actually just take the GFIs over the break tackle, simply because you'd be closer to the ball. Do you want to be isolated? That's a question. It's actually worth considering whether you want to take the 2 GFIs to hit the ball or cut the corner, because on a fail, where you end up is kind of what's dictated there. So,
Oh, he forgot to
that's
blitz?
not a
Oh,
blitz.
we forgot.
Oh, and he
Or is that just a
spooned.
graphical error? Oh, rolls a 1 on the dodge.
He's gonna
But I
have
don't
to...
see a... Oh, no, it is a blitz. It's just a graphical.
Oh, yeah, there we
Yeah,
go.
And he
Whoa.
fucking...
Oh, he
Oh,
snaked the
that
dodge.
See,
At
it was
least.
relevant. He decided to be there instead of on the ball.
Yep.
I'm not saying that's good or bad. It just was a decision to make.
Well,
Yeah. At
Yeah.
least he has some sources and a Cruxigo in front of the whole Shelf team, so it's the Shelfs can't really stumble through as fast they would like to.
no, but he's gonna
They
be
can
able to blitz a
they
hole
can
pretty...
blitz Chakwa out of the way, yeah. That's fucking painful.
A
Of
do-
all the things to snake. Oof.
Yeah, that's...
That's the one time you kind of don't want to get snake.
I don't think he could have... I mean... That's kind
You know,
of rough,
they-
too.
Yeah, for him as well, because I don't see another option really.
Yep. Oh, I don't like this, though.
Nope, me neither.
You don't like what? Committing to the Crocs?
Yeah, just...
That's fine. Just hit it.
I guess it does... Well, no, because now he's in his own way. If he had blitzed Chakwa here, then...
I guess he was concerned, and rightfully so, that Chorfs don't really have the ability to easily keep the ball safe. But I guess you can just tie up Saurus. Like he if he outranges the break tackle one, like what's he afraid of? At that... So he's
Yeah.
playing a bit too safe here, I think.
Yeah.
And just marking that break tackle source often leaves it being used in the first dodge.
Well, first hit on a skink does not result in a knockdown. It was a good old 75% that he failed, but as we just saw, 1 in 36. I don't think anyone can really complain.
Yep.
Nope. I don't even think he's allowed to complain after that.
I think
Urse are never allowed to complain. That's just the reality of the situation.
Lizard coach is just thanking his lucky stars that he didn't completely lose control of the drive because of that. So
Yeah, I think that was definitely a mistake by the Chorfs not to take advantage of this.
okay. Well,
skinks die.
Rip.
Eh.
Go figure.
Maybe 7 stunty. So
without spoiling play-ins, this guy ate his vegetables today. Let's just say.
yeah.
Justice definitely. Yeah, Unskilled Skink exactly did his job, Big Chuck.
Yeah.
He died, so nothing else did.
I mean, he did in this case do his job. Like that, it served no purpose. But yeah, it turns out dying is what skinks have to do sometimes.
No, I mean, you know, he was back there for a good reason, and unfortunately, it just meant that he took a death.
Yep.
Yeah. Now here, you've got some interesting options, I think.
Very indeed so.
You can kind of get in front of and behind this ball if you break tackle out and kind of threaten the back.
Could
I don't hate it.
You could break tackle, hit the Hobgoblin maybe, but that would be a GFI. But then also it's like you need something in front of the ball, otherwise he's just going to run down the field.
You've got these two Saurus over here. If you knock down Hanged Man, can you hit anything interesting? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You could hit the Chorf. That you could hit Death with 2 GFIs, but it's probably not worth it.
Yeah. You could also.
The Chorfs have done a good job for the first time this game of keeping the Claw Mighty Blow in the back in blitzing distance of the front line, but not easily tied up. So I think that's a good play.
He could also hit the Hobgoblin if he decides to do so, but I don't see a point of why he would do so.
I mean,
I would rather hit Death if I were him.
Yeah, I mean, on one hand, basing the ball is basing the ball. On the other hand, you're also basing the world when you do that.
Yeah, exactly.
And
maybe going for this backline Hobgoblin and then just putting some skinks in the front line here, doing the G5s that are needed with Shag, and moving over your sources for this defensive line and just limiting the movement of the shows might be the best bet.
Yeah, I mean, if the Chorfs don't score, it doesn't matter, that he didn't turn him over, because then all the Wizards have to do is stall and score, and they win the Minors Finals, so.
Exactly.
Just a push. He's considering a reroll on this, I think.
Yeah, he's considering whether to follow or not. And I think not following was the correct answer. He's going to get blocked on this line no matter what he does.
Yeah.
The Chorfs have too much guard.
Well, I am still waiting for him to pick a dice.
Oh, you might have a graphical bug. You
Yep.
might need to pop back in.
Give it a second. You guys can audio cast for a moment.
Yep.
There we go.
Oh, okay.
Of course, as soon as I say that, we're good.
Moving over to the left a bit, kind of still screening off in classic Lizard fashion. Source up front, Skinks in the back. Deciding where he's going to put his blitz could free up the break tackle, but I think he's going to be blitzing with the break tackle to do that instead, so that he can keep the tackle kind of centrally located.
Yep.
But there's not going to be a lot to stop the Chorfs from just tagging up these Saurus on the front line and running the ball down this left-hand pitch.
Yeah. It seems like a hard scenario for us where, like, defending over here more to the left side, it just opens up the right side more, and the other way around, if he decides to defend the middle side, all of a sudden the left side and the right side is open instead.
Yeah, losing that one Saurus early really limits his options.
Yeah, and the dead skink as well. Being 2 players down on a control team really sucks. when you're trying to control the pitch. The time is nearly ticking out here without him doing a blitz.
Well, he does get the skink on the ball, so that does mean that we're going to see... Oh, break tackles. He
Nope.
did not blitz this time.
No blitz.
Weird choice. I think that was definitely him feeling rushed. Maybe a little bit of pressure. He could have blitzed the chariot and not made a 2-die, but or a 2+, I should say.
Yeah.
So this just screams you have to blitz the skink now. I'm just trying to buy time. I think it's not the worst play ever, but he is going to take a hit here. So if he takes a bit more damage, this could become a problem.
Particularly if the Crocs goes down. Like, Crocs has been great so far this game, but...
Yeah, that...
Oh! And I should not have said anything.
An MNG, Jesus Christ.
Do you appo this?
I mean, you think you have to, even though it sucks because you're making it 50-50.
Yeah. You can't let this go.
You lose the game, I think, without your Crocs.
You need the Crocs for the off. Oh, he lets it go.
Yeah.
Oof. And that's... I think he needs the Crocs for the offense. Yeah, hashtag caster curse.
That very well might be game.
Yeah.
It's certainly a huge deal.
Yeah, that's...
And now if the claw piece is starting to wreck into things, I think we're going to see a blitz here on the Hoover of the River.
And this might have been why he held the Appo. Because... Hua of the River.
That's KO.
Yeah, well, he's not stopping the Chorf score at this point, I think.
No, he's not. It's just a matter of time now before Slade does one of the touchdowns. At least, on the positive side, now the break tackle block guard Saurus is safe.
This is true.
To look at it.
If you want to be on the positive side of things.
No babes for Urse, so...
Yeah.
Although, he will get 2 rolls in all likelihood to bring him back.
Very indeed so. I've seen Urse here trying a 1-turn attempt versus... who was his first opponent? Jesus, my memory slips my... versus Gadgets, actually, and I believe it worked out.
Well, with Agi 4, he technically could get a good 1-turn, but he would need both Saurus to come back for it, I think.
Yeah, and the thing was, he had a Frenzy Saurus back at that game. Which
I think the standard setup, you need 8 players without Frenzy, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. Lizards have movement 8, so they don't need a ton of pushes. They only need 3.
Yeah, and with that sprint and sure feet on that Agi 4 player, makes it kind of more easier.
Yeah, he only needs...
And sidestep.
Yeah.
Only needs 2 in that case, so...
Yeah, and that skink has been with him throughout the whole college and minors as well. So he's well practiced with that Agi 4 skink.
Yeah, gee.
And trust me, we have tried to kill it. It doesn't die.
Yeah, Rocks was the same.
I was gonna say, that sounds kind of familiar to one little bastard I knew.
In my college team, I had a skink named Rocks, who was Quattlewaddle, whatever, but also had block.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did he have something else? No, I don't remember.
I think he was, by the end, he was pretty much Quattlewaddle plus block.
Yep, he was, because he was just short of legend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you
actually on the other Lizard team that faced Urse before this one, he also had a super skink, but that one is Agi plus, and it is actually also plus strength.
Oh my lord.
So that's even a worse
on
skink.
skinks is weird.
Yeah, it's super weird, but strength 3 Agi 4 Shafit sprain sidestep, it's really good.
I was gonna say, I'd take an 8-3-4-7 piece. Hey Bison, how you doing, man? Shador, did you put Rocks on the market, or did he?
Yeah, he's
Oh yeah.
So we might see a block with a skink here. It does have a 2-die on death. A bit scary as it is a 1-in-9-able block, but I think we're into scary territory.
Yep.
It does not 1-in-9, which is nice, of course.
Yeah, we already went in way after that Croxigal went down into scary territory.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
And having that break tackle block guard sword is removed as well is just a hard knock on your head to realize that this is going to be a tough game.
Yeah. So he can do a 2-die onto the Hanged Man, follow it up, and then get a blitz onto Death with 1 GFI. But that means you've basically abandoned the right side of the pitch. You know, and he's just going to easily run down that side. I think he's going to easily run down either side, but it's a question of how the Lizards are going to play this. Are they going to try to aggressively go for the ball? Are they going to try to minimize damage? It'll be interesting to see.
If you're willing to make a 5+ dodge and 2 GFIs, you technically have a hit on the ball, assuming you knock the Hanged Man out of the way.
Easy.
Yeah, which, you know.
Nope. There is also a suggestion that I just saw where you can dodge out Thailand and you actually dodge around one of the hobgoblins for a red dice on the ball carrier if you wanted to. But we don't nearly see that option being as successful.
No,
looks like he might choose to base up the ball here, which isn't too bad. He's gonna draw a blitz, and it's not gonna be from the claw piece because the claw piece can't reach if he does guard up this corner. So.
Yep. And decides to do the as well.
This is decent. It basically minimizes the damage he's going to take next turn, while also putting a bit of pressure, at least, on the Chorus to do. And he gets a second player on the ball potentially.
And yeah, he has completely abandoned the right side of the field to do this. But if he takes 1 more GFI, which he does, this is actually nice now because Slade's starting to run out of turns a little bit here.
Yep, you can even do a dodge with this skink to put him onto the ball as well. I wouldn't hate it.
Yeah.
He's positioned himself well so that chain pushing the ball off is not going to be incredibly easy.
Yeah, and being with the 2 bull centaurs locked up versus these 2 blocked sources, all of a sudden they are kind of stuck as well. You can't really move them around as much as you would like to.
Elects not to dodge. I think he's hoping here that the 2-die that's a Powfish fails, and then you can't free either of them up because they're on opposite sides, so any failed block will just push the skink onto the other one. So it is kind of nice that, barring a very lucky Pow, which he's done once before, this skink will be tying up 2 hobgoblins for at least this turn, and they can just run away next turn if he needs.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm pretty impressed with how Urse is playing this while down a lot of really good players.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So we are going to see potentially a claw hit coming in on the Tacklesaurus. It is going to be a GFI, so it's a bit scary for Slade. He is running out of rerolls. He's only got 2, and he's only got 3 turns. He's got to start hoofing it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He may be down to relying on a 3+ dodge here.
And if you're doing that, I don't like throwing a GFI before a critical blitz here,
no,
right? Like he's got to make not only a GFI and a hit, he's also got to make a 1 in 9-able block because this skink is currently screening off. What is he doing here?
Is he?
Is he gonna blitz with the ball carrier?
He
might be so.
Could be.
Since the ball carrier's actually got blocked, it's a viable option to actually blitz one of the Sauruses out.
But this is a 1-die.
Then...
Oh no, it's a 2-die.
Because of the guy behind. So this actually works out for him nicely. He is going to be able to gets a free armor break and a free catch.
Okay, go figure.
Hobgoblins are cheating.
Nice.
Dwigs killed all the Chorfs, so the Hobgoblins are like, well, we got to step up now. It's our turn to shine.
Yeah, that looks good because it was a knockdown, but he would have been in a pretty rough position if he didn't get the knockdown there. I guess it was pretty likely. It was a 55% with a reroll, so not so bad.
I think that was his best option given the position he was in. So
yeah, if he potatoes here though, you could easily manufacture at least a 1-die on the ball. Okay, does not choose to potato. Does recognize that these skinks do have a hit.
Yep.
No, I don't think that actually cuts the skinks out.
It doesn't completely, but at least if he does go down, he's not out in the middle of nowhere, and he has some recovery options. As we do get the Powfish.
2-die into a 3-die, decent shot at getting the knockdown at least.
Hey, Bison, thanks for the follow, man. Much appreciated, and enjoy the Minors Finals.
So we could, if we were feeling extra spicy, throw a red die where you need a push, and then you can, I think, get a 2 die on the ball if you run one of the skinks around as an assist.
I could see an option for blitzing death here with the guard blocks Urse. If he gets him down, you could stand that guard player around the 2 bull centaurs to actually make a really decent guard play here, and just tag up the ball carrier again. Because being down on so many shores on the ground here for Slade might make it difficult for him to like continue traveling with the ball down the field.
Also, I'm
That's
just thinking.
true. It's a lot of 2 dies where you need knockdowns, though. If you can take out the Chorf, and if you get a lucky like armor break on the Hobgoblin, I think there's a decent shot you deny the score.
Yep, very indeed so.
So it's a question of how much risk he wants to take. A red die where you need a push is not terrible. I think it's like 75 with a reroll. Let me pull it up. 70% with a reroll. And the good thing is if he doesn't roll a skull and he does get a both down, he can just abandon that plan. Oh no, it would be with a loner piece though, so
Yeah.
no reliable reroll. Can he make it a 2-die? Or a 1-die even?
I kind of like the idea of just being a wall in front of the Hobgoblin, because given his position, he kind of needs as much movement down the field as possible in the 2 turns he's got left.
It's true.
The risk.
If he blitzes death down and he gets a free knockdown there, it looks a lot better because then he can commit a reroll to one of these blocks over here, trying to get this like guard piece down, for instance.
Very indeed so. I would even argue that putting a skink there on the side to get a 2-die on that guard piece with your Bloxorus might be even a viable option, and then putting the sidestep block skink onto the bull carrier just to tag it.
Yeah, you need a GFI to get him up on the top corner, but you could do a non-GFI to stick him on the side.
Yeah. As I've been practicing with my pro elves, I've realized that putting a blodge sidestep piece on the bull carrier can be just as frustrating as putting maybe even putting down the bull carrier sometimes.
Yeah, I also had a blodge step diving tackle skink, and that skink sometimes did incredible amounts of work. Which is and immediately 1 in 9s, which is not what we want to see.
He's got 3 rerolls, so
this isn't a blitz though. I don't think he cares.
Yeah,
and the Saurus got blocked as well, so you're just taking the both down and just standing around doesn't.
Yeah, if that was the blitz, I think you had to commit the reroll. As it wasn't, I don't think it was as important.
He can definitely be aggressive with his rerolls though, because he does have 3 left.
Oh, very indeed so.
Yeah, at this point, I think maybe just toss the Blodge Stepper onto the corner, basing the Hobgoblin, and just pray that you slow him down enough.
Yep. Might even put it next. No, because that. I'm trying to see a way where he can't get a Shorf to block the skink off, but it's unavailable.
Yeah, there's just too many Chorfs and not enough Saurus left.
Yep.
Casual 3+ dodge instead of a GFI.
That
works when the target doesn't have tackle. But when the target does have tackle.
Oh, he's got 7 seconds. He's got to go. Oh, he's going for the 1-die.
Yep.
That is a. Oh yeah, that is a 1-die. Gets the GFI in the second time.
And
1-die is not good though.
Nope. Both down here isn't enough. At least the sidestep blodge skink ace.
Skink finally finds a 2 or a 1.
And Corpse Land. There's all the 6s he needed.
Yeah, I was say that's an 11 into a 12. That would have killed a tree.
Yep. Well, again though, I think if he can't get the Blodge Stepper off the ball here, and well, I think the play right here is you blitz in with the Chorf blocker, and but he blocked that hole where he was going to.
No, this is fine. If he now he gets a 3-die on the Blodge Stepper, which is a good start with the Chorf with the Bull Centaur, to kind of see how things shake out. If he can find a POW there, he's in a pretty good spot.
You could even POW the shag with your claw piece from that corner that the Hobgoblin is standing in, to make a chain push onto the sidestep to be able to then block with your other shove.
Yeah, because if the sidestep wants to stay on the ball now, he's going to put himself onto tackle Mighty Blow.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this is probably okay. You block with the Bull Centaur. If you don't get a POW, you try again with the Chorf blocker.
Yep.
And if you don't get a POW, then you cry.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this leaves his blitz free for the Claw Mighty Blow to blitz the other skink off. Although Claw useless there, but
yeah. He might even go for a play here that the Claw will take out the other Saurus, the guard block Guardosaurus, and just dodge out. Just to be really greedy and.
Ooh, I don't like this.
Well.
Well.
So it does prevent him from sidestepping onto the ball.
Now he has to dodge.
He does, and yeah, Urse is just gonna.
And there's gonna be a skink chasing him downfield, and he needs to be in scoring position this turn.
Yeah.
Yep.
Elects to base up outside of. No, that's in scoring range for this.
Is he gonna potato down the field now with the Bull Carrier here?
I think he has to.
I don't like this play at all.
No.
Ooh, fails the dodge.
Oh.
And here comes the
got
reroll.
The team reroll. Yep.
Oh, he won a 9 to.
Oh, it fails again.
Turns out neither of these teams are good at dodging.
Yep.
So that is probably no score for the Chorfs. The Chorfs have 2 scoring threats. One is very unlikely, one is a bit more likely, but he does have a block on him, probably. Well, not actually guaranteed.
He's got a 1-die on him, which, you know.
I mean, you're pretty scared if you're Urse to throw anything here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the Lizard's defensive drive.
Yeah. If the Lizards even just if he gets a skink in, just throwing the ball upfield is a valid choice as well.
He could.
If you can work a way out where you can get a skink in some form of matter.
If the loner manages to 1-die knock down the Emperor, he can get a 2-die on the world, which frees up. It's only then 1 tackle zone on the ball, but that's still. I don't know.
Still something.
It's something for sure, but I would almost
if he does nothing here, he's got an easy sure hands pickup into 4+ handoff. Blitz this Bull Centaur free, try to go for it with 2 GFIs. It's not that bad. It's still not incredibly likely to.
Yeah. I'd try to do something to make it harder, definitely.
Both the Emperor and the Empress actually are in scoring range since they have sprint and sure feet. Both of
It's
the
true. So you're probably not going to be able to deal with the Empress. You could dodge out this. I think what you do with the Empress is you dodge out the sidestep skink and put it in front of the Empress. So you do that probably last because it's the least important thing. First, you've got to kind of try to commit to knocking over or at least pushing back the Emperor. But that's going to be real scary because it's going to be a 2+.
Yep.
Without a reliable reroll.
Yep. You could also, kind of as a last action, to dodge check in to just base him on the ball, just to force extra dice.
Yeah, well, what you can do here, so I think I would 1-die with Is It of the Viper. I would 2-die the World, though the World has stand firm, so you can't follow up onto the ball. That makes it a lot worse, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about the stand firm, so.
So yeah, your best bet is probably dodging check onto the ball, but you're not going to be able to do it in such a way that you're not standing on top of a Chorf. So that's going to be a short-lived ball mark.
You might the red dice here onto death might be a valid option as well. Getting death down here would benefit us a hell of a
Yeah.
lot.
It's a 1 in 9 to succeed with knocking him over though.
Yeah.
So
I
It's
mean,
looking
a
like
push
Urse is
would
once
do it.
again going to be doing nothing until the very last moments of his turn. This could be disaster.
here he goes.
Gets the dodge. Okay.
Oh, he wants
Gets
the
an
2 die.
assist on the Emperor.
Yep.
This means he is going to be leaving. Ooh, gets the knockdown. That's a big deal.
Yep.
He is going to be leaving the Empress completely free unless he dodges out.
I would hope
I'm
he
just
dodges
gonna,
out
in my
Shaq.
headcanon, that skink is just Shaq. So
Shaq.
I mean, the first dodge is kind of scary because you don't have dodge versus the tackle piece. The next 2 dodges out are actually not on tackle, so then the skill dodge becomes viable all of a sudden.
yeah.
Played Norse, done these dodges myself. They are not too hard to make, but they feel scary to make.
Yeah. I think I'd almost
think-
hit the claw piece over the stand firm piece just to knock it away.
Yeah, to just save sources for
Yeah.
their own drive, really.
Oh, gets a one. It is a 1 die.
Oh, it
I
is a-
think that was a 1 die.
I didn't either, but
It was the guard. Just does knock it away. Now, I think you can dodge once with Shaq to make sure you're still tying up Temperance, because Temperance is the likely pickup target, as the Fool is tied up. So you want to basically make it so that the Chorfs have to roll more dice. So I think you would then try to blitz. Okay.
where does he go? Oh, he wants the hit.
He's gonna blitz the shot. This guy free with a 1 die.
Oh, yeah.
Does not blitz.
Unless it's a graphical bug? No.
That square, that circle turned red. That player is not going in. And he follows. No longer freeing. I don't like this. He's left too many Chorfs free.
That's a preservation play, not a try to stop the Chorfs from scoring play.
1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6. So it's just a 3+ with a built-in reroll into a 4+ where you can reroll it into 3 GFIs.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And now that second sure hand seems really smart.
All of a sudden.
Yep. Slade with the 200 IQ level ups. He knew this was going to happen.
I'm just gonna grab these second
so it's about a 50-50. It's a 51.44% chance to get a 3+ dodge with. It's not a dodge, but it's a pickup, whatever. 4+ handoff, and then 3 GFIs with sure.
Yep.
Why is he hitting the? Oh, he doesn't need to blitz anything. Actually, never mind. This is fine.
Yeah. The Blitzy comes out of pure greed, really.
Yeah, I mean that's a sense. I mean it's risky in the sense that a dub skull there would be pretty brutal, but
Yeah.
the
but you
odds
got
of
the
that
reroll
happening.
as well.
Yeah, the odds of that happening. I mean, like if you commit the reroll at that point, the odds of you scoring go down to 25%. But
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
it's kind of a tough call, honestly. Like it's obviously greed, and it obviously slightly decreases your chance of scoring. But he's also saying here, if I pitch clear the lizards, I don't need to. I don't need to score.
Yeah, exactly.
So if I take out one of their best players now, I'm in a lot better of a place.
Oh.
Handoff is good, so now this is incredibly likely to work out for Slade.
Yep. 3 GFIs with built-in rerolls. Well, for one of them at least. And he does it.
1-0 to the Chorfs on their drive.
Definitely was a little interesting there for a while, but I think Slade recovered well at the end there.
It felt like Urse were making a bit of a mistake preserving his team there.
Yeah.
Does get 2 KOs back though. That's big.
He could have
Yeah,
certainly made that a
right.
lot harder. And now, is the 1 turn on? I think it might be.
Technically, yes.
Yeah. I mean, it will be hard, but in a finals, I think you still try it.
Oh yeah, very so. I really want to watch Slade's positioning here, where he decides to put these shelves. I've seen players who don't put the shelves in front with their tackle. He decides to use the bull centers in front, as we see right now. So I hope that he switched those around, because the tackle here is a really important part of stopping this 1 turn from happening.
Yeah, and the bigger strength will impact the ability of the lizards to push them around a bit. If you keep a guard on the line and then put the guard bull centaur, things are
Yeah,
looking a little tougher for the.
very so.
I'll be right back.
Even putting the stand firm on one side and putting the bull centaur on the other side, is forcing us to make do with the middle guy, making it really difficult.
Yeah.
But
Doesn't elect to set up in a one-turn defense here.
yeah, I don't like this.
I mean, critically, the one Saurus that did stay out was the good one, the break tackle block guard one. So losing that second guard makes this one turn a lot harder. But I still like, why even give him the opportunity to try to one turn when you could?
Yeah, because that bull centaur and the stand firm shove could actually technically win you the game here.
They would have just shut it down, I think, before it even got started.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, he's gonna.
And you kind of in the playoff spot like this, you kind of don't need to think about player preservation, because it can ruin your game.
Yeah, it's you gotta go for the win here. You gotta do everything you can. Yep. So.
So I'm just trying to spot the shame push here, but
He's gonna have to fill one hole here, underneath Coltottle. Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. But he's got 2 skinks and a Saurus left, and obviously, well, I would think the Saurus would be the one that does the blitz. So.
Yeah. This movement busted block Saurus. He's probably doing the blitz here.
Yeah.
Onto the guard shove.
Yep. And then
I would switch really quickly before it does anything with the tackle one out to the fresh one.
Put the tackle one on the line there.
Yeah, exactly. Just so you have block all the way as you follow along, so the dice gets harder and harder to do.
Yeah.
Turns out it doesn't matter though. A both down is a fail for a player with block or a player without block.
That's true.
It doesn't actually matter if you don't get knocked down. The lizards don't have the luxury of failing a block in here.
Yeah. Grandview King saying both these guys are in clan, which is pretty sweet. Are they in the same clan or?
Kick does make this interesting. He can make it a little bit harder if he gets it into one of the corners.
Yeah. And that's useless, but
that is not where I expected that kick to go. It's a really easy kick.
Yeah, why did he kick it dead center?
I mean, that might have been some crazy scatter dice. Yeah, the scatter was nearly maximum. It was an 8 on a D8 plus 4.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that would do it. He may have been trying to kick it short, potentially, and then it just scattered right back into the center.
Yeah, a short kick is actually pretty good. If you could get it, like, top corners.
Yeah, exactly.
Then the skinks will have trouble receiving it.
Then you're relying on a stunny pass, basically.
Yep. And stunty passing isn't for the lighthearted.
No. Let's see. But as it stands, he needs 2 pushes, so...
Yep. The 2 pushes are easy enough to get. The problem is getting the ball probably over to that joyful skink.
Yeah. So you blitz... Hanged man.
It's all a lot of dice.
Yeah.
And it's always is.
Here we go.
So, here we go. Let's see how this
goes.
goes.
Double pow. He's got it. There goes the reroll.
No, you got to reroll. You could just elect to go for damage at this point, but that's incredibly unlikely to work out.
Nah. In a minors final, I think you got to go.
Yep.
All right. It's all in the hands of Nuffle now.
Alright, Rookie Saurus, do us proud.
Ah!
Nope.
Block dice too good!
Yep.
All the pows when you didn't want them.
This also means he doesn't have more blocks here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, like, the odds of the blocks causing an injury were basically 0.
Yep.
Well, I mean, you might as well. Oh, never mind. You might not as well. Vanity pass. um, and I think I saw for a second as it popped up there. Hua of the River will not be joining us for the second half.
Spoilers. Gosh.
He will not.
You're right. Yeah. And that's his best player, right? That's the
Yep.
right tackle.
And that's a dagger in the heart for the Wizards.
Yeah, that's a real dagger in the heart there.
Would you?
Not him coming back is.
Shador, as the Lizard expert here, would you score quickly in an attempt to get him back? Or would you still try to grind it and play for overtime?
Wishful thinking to think that you can score quickly here, I think. I mean, possibly wishful thinking to think that you can score at all. I think good play from the Chorfs could easily shut this down.
It is.
You could potentially two-turn. But
yeah, it's not great, is it?
No, I think your best bet here is actually to try to two-turn. Yeah, you can. I don't like committing to the line blocks. There's no point really. I think I would go. You've got to worry about kick too. Ugh, yeah, this sucks.
Yeah, you gotta leave all three skinks.
You can't commit to a hard side, or else he just kicks to the other one.
To take notes from Urse's last game versus Razak, where they actually went into overtime because of the same problem that we are kind of seeing here, but with a 0-0 result at halftime instead. Urse actually decided to wait and make it in. He basically just drew the game and played overtime.
Oh.
Perfect defense here, along with that kick, unless this kick scatters out, is probably game. I mean, this is going to let the Chorfs all mans and tie up these three Saurus.
Yeah.
There's nothing the Wizards can do about it.
And, yeah, I mean, that decision to go for team preservation over trying to make the score harder.
He's got to be careful here, though. If this ball scatters out, there's a good shot that you just hand it off to this one.
Kylie Zolt.
Yeah.
And
that had
doesn't
scattered
go
out. This could have been Urse's chance.
Yeah.
Could have potatoed, and there would have been no one to hit the ball, even with block.
A lot of little tiny things starting to go Slade's way and add up a little bit.
So let's see. 1, 2. You can pick up the ball with Shaq, hand off to Quatley, and then do a stunty pass to this guy. It's an Agi 4 stunty pass at least. I don't think you can make it, right? With sprint you might be able to. 1, 2.
Well, with a Qualtadl can make it to Shaq to do for the handoff, and then Shaq has to pass to Kylie Zolt.
No, you could do it. You do it the other way around.
Oh.
Yeah, you pass first with Shaq to Coldtail.
Oh yeah, because then it's a 2+ catch, and then.
Yep. So.
No. You do the pass with the Agi 4.
Oh, and then do the handoff. Yeah.
The hardest roll in there is the pass, and the pass should be done then, therefore, with the highest Agi.
True.
Okay.
So you do the 2+ pickup and the 2+.
No, but he's going slow here.
I don't think this is gonna work out.
No, I think there was the opportunity to try and make it down the field and trust in Blodge Step with all the Chorfs all manning, but I guess technically this is the safer quote-unquote play.
I don't think this ever wins you the game, though. The problem is, the Chorfs are just gonna blitz down this position and, run into the backfield with blockers, and then, or with the Bull Centaurs, and then what do you do? They can just leave a couple of blockers back to kind of be safeties, and the Skinks can't outrun them, so...
Technically, the Emperor can mark up whoever picks up the ball unless they basically sit on their own goal line, so...
What he's probably going to look to do here... I also don't think he has the luxury of protecting the ball. I think that was a bit of wishful thinking.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're coming in with the blitz here. It is a 2-die. Does get a knockdown at least.
That does not give us a follow-up 2-die on the Devil, so...
Yeah, the problem is the Devil is standing right next to that Saurus.
And he's in a target-rich environment now.
Yeah. where all of these sauruses are on the danger side.
Yeah, there's
The extinct dinosaurs.
the best I can see other blocks he can get is a 1-die on the Hanged Man 2 with a loner. And he doesn't want to take that.
So he's gonna pick up the ball and run up this right-hand side, I think, but I don't know what that's supposed to accomplish. Like, you're never gonna be... Ooh, gets a 1-die pow,
Oh.
cheekily, on the Claw Mighty Blow here.
Well, I mean,
It's something.
certainly not nothing. Oh,
Oh, and a break. Just a stun.
he's very happy about that, though.
That stun might be enough for this Casola, the Blood's sidestep skin kid to run up field, maybe?
My-
On the next turn.
Yeah.
My guess is that's probably his plan here, is you pick up with this turn, then you run up, hand off to the Blodge Stepper, and the Blodge Stepper just potatoes.
Problem is that the Chorfs get a turn in the middle of that whole thing, and the Chorfs are going to blitz probably the Skink. And if they don't blitz the Skink, they're at least going to sit back with a couple of blockers so that they have
Yep.
an option.
Oh, there's
one dice
Dub Skull. And yeah, now that makes it a lot harder, because now there's free Chorfs.
Yeah.
He was trying to get that in there so he could get a 2-die, I think, with the loner.
Yep.
I don't even
Yeah,
know if
but-
that would have been a 2-die.
That's... It was... Ugh. And he doesn't have the ball, so that puts him back a turn. I would have picked up before I did the 1-die.
Yeah, I think that was a bit greedy. I also think he might be feeling the pressure here a bit.
Very indeed so.
I mean, Chorfs are really good at making you do that. Just feel like
And
you've
also
lost.
just the pressure of the minors final, but yeah, Chorfs are soul crushing.
Yeah. Oh, that's a 3-die
Smart.
on your Skink.
Smart 3-die here on the Skink, but I don't... Oh, he didn't have a blocker available to take it, so yeah, this
Yeah.
is sensible. I would even consider reroll.
In overtime format, I think it's smarter not to.
I don't... I think you hope at this point that this does not go to overtime.
Yeah.
Before this game, I actually asked both coaches if how the university actually were on both of their sides, and Urse expressed it like the game before was more nerve-wracking than this one, because he actually expected to lose that one. Well, Slade actually said something in the lines of, "It's just another game. It's just another match. Of course, I'm nervous, but it's a good sort of nervousity."
Nervousness?
Yeah, nervousness.
Yeah, I had a similar experience in my playoffs, actually. My toughest game was probably against a Necro team. I think in the round of 8. Maybe in the round of 4. I think it might have been the round of 4. And then the final match was actually pretty one-sided in my favor.
Yeah, that was...
Yeah.
You played me in the round of 4, so it would have been the round of 8.
Yes. I played, I think it was Slice and Dice's Necro was the closest game.
Yeah.
Um,
Hey, ours went to overtime, but
did it?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I won the toss, though, and then...
Rocks did. Rocks.
just,
Also, it went to overtime
Whoa.
because Orc passing worked. You were in complete control of the game the entire time.
Oh,
so.
right, yeah, you two-turned with Orcs.
Yeah,
Hey, man,
twice.
you got the thrower, you might as well throw it. Oh, you did two-turn twice. Yeah, never mind. I take it back. All charitable comments are out the window.
That was before he was Agi 4 too, so...
No, he was Agi 4 in the playoffs, I'm pretty sure.
No, I
Because
thought...
I remember...
Oh, no, you're right,
I
he
remember
was.
dodging through your tackle zones to score in overtime, and I could have made it easier, and Nugget yelled at me forever about it. And yeah, it was a 2+. I had to make like 2 or 3 2+, and I failed one of them, and it got very scary, but I
Yeah.
scored in the end.
It just gave me the briefest moment of hope, and then Rock snuffed it out, but...
Rox was much kinder to FD and snuffed out hope on turn 1, so...
Yeah.
Sometimes we the newer generation of Rebel players tend to forget how new some of the actually older coaches are. Because, like, as you're saying, it wasn't how many seasons ago that you guys played in -10?
Minus 4, I
two
think.
seasons.
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
I think it was -5. Actually, I have the list Hold on.
No, it was Miners
someone asked
4,
me
because Miners 5 was the Ricky season that he won.
Yeah, so it's kind of impressive to me that like two ex-Miners coaches actually are sitting here commentating Miners still.
Oh well,
congrats.
I run the league, so I'm cheating. But
Yeah, but at the same time, it's fun to see how like newer players step up to the plate and take stuff into their hands and make it happen.
yeah, well, the league wouldn't exist if people weren't doing it. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
an important point for sure.
One of the nice things is the amount of people who are willing to volunteer stupid amounts of time to make it work.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I did win season 4. You're right, because Ricky won season 5, and now we're season 6. And then I got immediately knocked out in playoffs, as is tradition.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of feel like it's kind of rough for a Miners coach to step up to the grand finale right
Ooh, there's a
Ooh.
1 in 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has to take that reroll.
I mean, I don't know what he's doing. I mean, there's not a lot getting done this turn, even with the reroll, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think he may be starting to lose the plot a little bit here.
There's no plot to be found.
Yeah, no, it's he did that before he stood up as Saurus.
Players.
Yeah. It's
we actually, there's been a couple, like in particular, I think True Blue's match, or was it True Blue? No, it was Ricky's match last season was against like a team I expected him to beat. Like it was, I think it was High Elves as Lizards, and it's like a pretty good matchup. And the teams were even like, it's not that the teams are more developed. Like I faced double Claw Palm Wolves in game 1, like I got pretty host. But it's not always the case. Like a lot of the time, most of the coaches are pretty new. It's just that the Miners have either had bad luck or bad draws every time. So I think it's rather miraculous, really, that no Miners coaches won at least the first round yet.
Well,
maybe this or whichever team pulls ahead here will be the first one.
We were talking before the game. If this result holds, failed dodge there. If this result holds and Slade goes through, his team is actually pretty well developed for a 2-season team. So
yeah, it's comparable, I think, to the level of development that one of the best Chorf teams in my division had. And my division would have been a 15-game team, so it's a little bit less than this, but not much more. That's 1 season in Rebel. Or no, it would be a 17-game team then.
Yeah, because Greenhorn.
There's still 2 games left for the Rebel season, so it's pretty much comparable. I think Blizzard or college coaches play 11, and then you play usually 9-ish in the minors.
Unless you took the hard-hearted route of playing upstarts into Miners.
It's true. Those people are madmen.
Yep.
Hello.
Upstarts is not kind. Some people think it's the easier route. I don't know why they would say that. Minor upstart coaches are, well, they're varied, of course, but have some of the better coaches from Rebel.
I think we had Kanuki from Upstarts in our division, and he's been killing it since getting to the majors. Literally, because he plays Chaos.
Yeah.
I don't know why people say these things. My Chaos don't hurt a fly. They actually do sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, I continued the glorious tradition of nearly pitch clearing Nexus, though he did, like, school me with rats.
Yeah. I'm so happy he found rats. That seems to be the team he's, like, really going to do well with.
He is fond of rolling dice.
Yeah. Ooh, Hobgoblin Blitz here.
Yep.
Does not 1 in 9, but does basically crush all of Urse's dreams and hopes. He's got 1 player standing, and that player is not as based as I thought he would be, actually.
Yeah. Did Urse forget to pick up last turn? I've just realized that.
He ordered differently. Like, I don't know if he forgot or chose to do it that way, but yeah, he did do riskier things before trying to pick up.
Yeah, I
think he was trying to decide what he was going to do with it, and he just, like, wasn't coming up with any good answer.
It might be that he was trying to get the blood size steps getting back down the field before trying to pick up the ball. But since the dodge failed, he couldn't do much about it.
Yeah.
So, real spicy play here is you blitz the chariot with the Saurus here. You wrap around to tie up both of these, make sure that you're at least standing in the tackle zones of the tower and Justice. You dodge out the Blodge guy upfield, and then you throw a stunty pass. But you pick up and throw a stunty pass.
That might be his only option here, because
I mean, even with that, it's very easy for the Chorfs to clear up a tackle player to go over and smack the Blodge, but I think that's literally the only option.
No, I think he's painted himself into a bit of a corner here.
Yes,
Urse
by
has.
dying. How dare you, Urse?
Yeah.
Roll less shitty armor dice and injury dice, please. You gotta get good, friend.
There is an option for red dyeing Justice with your skink, Shack, and then just rotating Callisto up the field, and then make the pass.
He's going with my play.
He does.
It's a bold move. Nope, never mind. He's doing other things.
No, he is.
He's doing other. He's probably gonna just try to hold the ball in the backfield this turn and run the Blodge Skink up now.
Yeah,
it's fine. It just means the Blodge Skink is gonna get blitzed though.
Just please pick up the ball before you
Yeah,
attempt
just pick
any
up
more
the ball
dodges.
right now. It's a 2+. Just go
Yeah.
for it, man.
yeah.
You can't re-roll the dodge out with the Skink.
Yeah, just do it.
It's gotta stay out of Hobgoblin range though too.
Yeah, it's gonna have to.
And it also feels like the longer
Guys, he
Urse
picked
is
up the ball.
actually dragging out on this, it feels like he has more and more potential to actually like do something. I don't know about you guys, but it's
That
just
is
a
not
feel-
how I would interpret the current state of the game.
Okay, but that's just how I feel, because like if he just waits long enough, he might spot a hole of like something like, oh, I can hand off here, make a cheeky 3+ pass here, then all of a sudden the skinks are way upfield, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
at that point, he's basically praying Slade makes a terrible, terrible error.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
I'm
That's
thinking.
calculated into my devious, greedy plan of handing off and doing other
Oh,
shenanigans.
Dodge doing a thing as the Skink runs to space.
Yep.
Do you stand up the tackle? I think you have to.
You have
Yeah,
to.
you have to. You have to.
And I actually kind of have the. I think he's been taking so long on his turns and thinking. I think he's almost getting inside his own head a little bit.
Oh yeah, totally.
Like
Throwing some GFIs here.
his order of operations on turns has not been perfect. Like I probably would have stood up the tackle first before making the dodge, for instance. And
I think he's scared to stand up the tackle. He's just like, I know this player is going to die. I've been there, but you
Yeah.
got to do it anyway.
yeah,
The claw, he has set some marks in him, maybe.
Oh, he does not stand it up. Yeah, that's a bit pixel huggy.
yep.
Yeah.
I
It's a
mean,
bit-
either way, it's an easy free up. I guess is probably his rationale. But now this means it's a very easy 3-die on
Yeah.
this game.
your Skink.
You gotta have
Yeah.
the mentality of Lord Farquaad in Shrek standing there saying, "Some of you may die, but that is a sacrifice I am willing to make with your players."
Yep. Oh, this means the block guard Skink is going to be a bit free here. Or Saurus, I should say, is going to be free. Well, not free, but he's not going to get knocked down.
Yeah.
I have a very strange definition of free in this game suddenly.
Yeah.
Not
Free
on
is
the
tied
floor.
up.
not actively dying is
Yeah.
free.
Yeah, exactly. It's free to do whatever it wants.
Now, he's got to respect this scoring threat. Yeah, okay. He
Yeah,
does.
he's going
he
back,
does.
At least.
but
Easy.
I don't know
think-
if you need to blitz it, but you do need to at least cover it. Yeah, okay. So this
Yeah.
makes it very hard for him to catch the ball. Technically possible, but very hard.
he's
Yeah.
yeah, he's gonna have to. He's gonna have to do a
6+6
pass.
Can't happen. So where is Slade getting this blitz then? Is it blitzing on the Saurus here and then just making the ball center stand on the skink?
I think he might.
Probably.
Yeah.
Looks like it. He gets the pals. He finds the knockdown. Smart move covering up Shack. Even from this angle, because that means that he can't do a handoff and run half to.
Yeah.
That said, marking up a Nagi 4 stunty skink is not really going to get a lot done. But
I was gonna
it is
say.
something.
the other option was to take the Emperor down in 3-die shack and try to cut off the middleman in what I assume is going to eventually be the Lizard play, which is...
Alright, guys, here's the play. You blitz the world from the ground. You get a knockdown because you're good at the game. You walk over, you mark the 2 guys on the left, you block the Hanged Man. You follow. You run to space with Skink. Story over.
Ooh.
You dodge out this Skink to mark up this Bull Centaur. You stand up these 2 guys so they can't get free. You dodge out maybe this other one. That's like the closest you're going to get to a real play here.
It's not a bad play.
You could end up in a situation where you're standing off to the side. You could even stand right on the goal line because you got sidestep. Or the sidelines, I should. And it's better than he should have at this point, is all I will say.
Yeah.
The real greed play here is to just dodge out, stand on the LOS line, make a pass to the Skink, and just pray for 6s and run it in.
That's some praying.
Yeah.
That is definitely a 5+ catch. I mean, it's not impossible. I think it's a 3+ pass, or no, it might be that's probably a 4+. I think that's 1 square too far for a 3+.
Might be so.
So 4+, 5+ with a reroll, but then into a 3+, 3+, only when one of which has a reroll.
Yeah.
It's some dice, to be sure.
It's certainly some dice.
Everything it feels like is some dice for Urse here to win the game. So, or to even draw the game into overtime, and then in overtime maybe do something.
So what's interesting here is you can actually do both plans. You can do the blitz with Izzet first to see if that's a knockdown before maybe committing to this line of play, and if it isn't, you can go for the Hail Mary pass.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
That's something that I would most likely do.
Yeah.
And
stand up these 2 swords first, but
yeah, exactly. Stand up the damn sources so they actually become useful.
For some definitions of useful.
Yeah. Because even leaving them up is actually creating more dice for Slade. In hindsight, because if a block becomes a double skull all of a sudden, I know it's far-fetched, but it happens, and that could be the turnover point where Urse needs to just get a good setup.
Yeah,
And
so
all
we'll
of this-
see here how this is gonna go. He's got a minute left. Okay, he is
Oh.
going for
He's going to
the
space.
potato play I discussed, but he's doing it in a different.
Well, I
Please
think...
don't snake a GF.
Oh,
and he
you
snaked a GFI.
Oh,
I
that
cursed him.
curse.
And a
I'm
KO.
sorry.
That curse right there, and that...
You have to appo that KO. BT dubs.
Oh, man.
Does
He doesn't.
not appo the KO. Okay,
That...
that's a problem.
That's the, I have accepted I'm going to lose this game. I just want to make sure nothing dies for majors.
Sometimes I fail to use my powers for good.
Nope.
Yep.
Well, I think Slade would disagree with you there, but...
Yeah.
Chorfs have no idea what the concept of good is. Counterpoint.
No, they don't. They are the definition of evil, some would say.
Alright, so the Chorfs can basically do nothing. They can just pass turn and hit stuff, and they will probably win.
Yeah.
It's very difficult for the Skinks to collect this ball and run to space.
That said, you could also try to get a touchdown on a Chorf.
I mean, you go for the pickup. There's no reason not to. You've got a sure hands player because you've got 2 for reasons.
Yeah.
Though if you fail this pickup and then it gets kicked off into space, you could have So, like, an interesting thing could happen here, right? Temperance tries to pick it up, 1 in 9, drops it into the crowd. Crowd throws it in front of the
Shad
Blodge
somewhere.
Skink. No, even
Oh.
just the Blodge Skink. Blodge Skink, 3+, 3+, 3+ is...
Yeah.
That's the world I want to live in.
Yep. But
You
in the
guys
real
respect
world...
that by killing... Like,
in the real world...
In the real world, the skinks are dead.
yeah, Blodge Stepper gets powed, and...
So, where do you want to position it?
As
not on
probably.
tackle,
Yeah,
probably?
there we go. And... he's fine.
He's fine.
Now we do the
Interesting they
pickup,
went
though.
backwards. I probably would have gone forward, so I stayed in scoring range.
Same.
There is one skink upright for Ursa's team right now.
Skink's all you need sometimes.
Yep.
That said, probably not going to work.
As we both said, I don't like that he's pixing hugging all these sources.
Nah.
Yeah, I mean, he's fairly resigned to his loss, I think, at this stage.
Yeah.
Admittedly, it was all pretty low odds from the first half on, but can be the danger of defending first versus Chorfs. It's kind of the conventional wisdom in some ways. Does 1 and 9.
It does
Does
go
in the
out.
crowd,
It's good.
goes the wrong way.
Well, it goes in range of Shaq. So
Yeah, Shaq can't reach it.
Yeah, and then
just
he can stand there holding it desperately as the Chorfs beat him to death.
oh yeah, I forgot. The block guard Saurus is stunned. So I was thinking there was a world where he could just stand up all the Saurus and sort of be safe, but
So,
Very shitty definitions of safe.
yeah, so listen to this. This is the plan now, boys. So the Bloodstep skink dodges out into the LOS line, sort of, somewhere. It doesn't really need to, and then you pick up with Shad, make it pass over the stand firm, the world shelf, into the Blodge sidestep player, and just hope that sidestep Blodge does something good for once.
you fail.
I bet you $50 that in that event the world immediately intercepts it. Like,
Yeah.
it becomes a 2+ intercept,
Yeah.
and he's gonna snatch it out of the air like nothing.
Yep.
Like it was nothing.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, and immediately 1 and 9's
Or
a
there's
dodge.
1 and 9 the first dodge.
Ouch. Yeah, that's Snuffle telling you to just stay down.
Hey man, at least he didn't stand up his Saurus this time, so no
Yeah.
blocks coming in.
Yep.
I mean, I guess Slade hasn't been fouling, so it would be unexpected if he started fouling now.
He has no need to. Like,
He has no need to. I mean, he has had need to, and I think it was a mistake for him not to be fouling.
Oh yeah.
Dwarfs have great foulers.
yeah.
And it's one of the many reasons why they're broken.
Yeah.
But he's getting a little curb stomp by Nuffle. Yeah.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is
I would say not fouling here is just a nice thing to do. So to
Yes,
say.
it is kind.
yeah.
Yeah.
Slade is being polite.
is playing on the kinder side today, where
Which is
Wait.
why I will now
Yes.
cast him into damnation. This is not a game for kind people.
yeah.
Sure. No, I'm just kidding. You can be nice if you want. I don't foul people when I'm winning aggressively, usually.
Yeah, me neither. I don't find it funny to be winning by a lot often as well. You can
Depends
see.
on who I'm playing.
I
I
was
would
gonna say,
foul
I'm-
Yeah,
Snake
totally.
I'm
on turn 16 if I had a 2+ to score.
I'm always like of the favor of if you're winning, you don't let your boot off the throat, you push it down. But there's winning and then there's winning, and
Yeah.
like
There are various values of winning.
yeah, it's
Very true.
also turn 16 respect fouls with Blorks are just tradition.
Proxigor fouls just have a great animation. I want to see it.
Yep.
Croxigal fouls? I haven't seen a Croxigal foul.
Then you've never lived.
I haven't played enough.
Well, that's not a knockdown. Might as well commit the reroll here. I mean, what else
Yeah,
you
I
gonna do?
mean-
Yeah, I mean,
No, does not elect.
no, actually, you can save it for a later turn to try to do a 1 turn or something, or no,
Oh,
not
goes
even a
for a
1
dodge.
turn.
I mean, you don't reroll this, surely, if you didn't reroll the block. The
No,
block is the
exactly.
better.
No, he
option.
does. Oh,
Oh,
nice dodge, idiot.
yeah.
Saurus dodge real well until they don't.
I should clarify the idiot is directed at Tehiel, the Saurus, not Urse.
Yeah.
Urse is not an idiot. He is a lovely dude.
Yeah, no reason to score here. There's one skink in blitzing range, and it would be a red die. That said, I would blitz the ball 100% of the time.
You fail.
I mean, I guess you can actually blitz this skink, but
I would blitz the skink 100 out of 100% here.
Yep.
why is he blitzing with the short? Oh, because he can blitz it onto the. No, this is fine. He
Oh,
can blitz
and
it
he-
onto.
Pows it anyway because Justice is a madman.
maybe he wants to have a third sure hands just to be really sure about picking up those damn balls.
All right, now you need to stand in the way of this skink, or he is going to just straight like click your ball and knock it over.
Yep.
Just stand on the
And we
diagonal
know-
line. Move the hobgoblin. That's not the right way. Oh, you could foul him, I guess.
Foul with the ball.
And we all know that Nuffle is so funny that that would actually work as well.
Yeah, not to any great consequence or anything, but it
No,
would
no,
work.
but it would work.
Oh,
We've
here it is.
all been there. Yeah.
Click skink, click ball. Let's go. Wild ride. I'm into it.
Here he goes.
Here it goes.
Look! I told you.
Oh no,
Oh,
it wasn't a blitz.
he didn't blitz.
God damn it.
50 points from Gryffindor.
Yes.
He has nothing to blitz other than this. You might as well,
I think
right?
this is him realizing he didn't blitz. Like the pause there screams,
Yeah.
I'm typing to my opponent. That was supposed to be a blitz.
Yep.
Yep.
And this is Nuffle punishing him by telling him that he would have made it.
Yep.
Yep. And look, it was all 6 pluses almost as well. No, it wasn't. I'm kidding.
It was enough.
It was 1 6 plus. It's all.
Does he even have a blitz here? No, he does not have a single 2-die.
No.
He can get a 1-die on the
Yeah,
on the
the
devil,
bullseye.
which is just asking to roll a skull and claw yourself on it.
I mean, if he wanted to, he could blitz the Emperor. With the low Nesaurus, because why not? It's not even his Saurus.
Oh, you can blitz the magician for a 2-die. All it requires you to do is to commit a Saurus to claw mighty blow. Easy.
I would rather blitz a 1-eyed Emperor than. But-
I would think he'd want to leave his mark on the team. Like, if you're not going to win the game, you might as well make
Yeah.
him feel bad about it by killing something important. But
And the
as
odds
the-
of you killing us. Let's see. What are the odds of you killing a Chorf blocker?
not great without mighty blow.
Right.
But I mean, still higher odds.
Basically, like 1.2% of the time you kill a Chorf blocker.
So is that?
Okay.
Not including the blocking dice. So it's about 55%.
Oh, there he goes.
Yeah, so 0.65% of the time you kill a Chorf.
Yeah.
1 in 200, easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Yeah, That's
Oh, and there's a dub skull. Alright, now 1 in 9 it. So that somehow he is safe. No.
That's not a 1 in 9. I mean, well, no, I can't talk about that because spoilers. But 1 in 200 happens
been a-
more often than you think.
It's been a day. Or are we talking about a different game?
No, I think we're talking about the Chorf off.
Nugget Chabsu?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is it safe to talk about it? I always forget the spoiler rules.
I mean, you're on your own stream, so there are no spoiler rules, but they don't police your stream. They police their streams
True.
But yeah, it's been 24 hours.
Okay. Yeah. Well, 2 1 in 200s happened.
Yikes.
I didn't actually get to watch that whole game. I watched the start, and it did not start well for Nugget.
It did not end well for Nugget. I listened to it because when I'm at work, I can only do Twitch in audio only mode. But fortunately, Metal and Zord are very good about making me understand what's going on, even when I'm only listening. And yeah, there's a player on Chab's team called Vegetables, and you should go watch the game to see what he does because it's just phenomenal.
Yep. And this is pretty much over. Nothing really to be done here. Just ends turn.
Yep, the GGs will be typed out.
Cool.
Yep.
Take a moment.
GG.
Yeah, let's let me go ahead and ping Slade, see if we can get him in here for winner's interview. And congratulations, Slade the Black Mage, minor champion of season 6.
Yep. One of the bloodiest college players, I would say.
Yeah.
College seasons. And minor season, I would say even. maybe. Shidora would probably know more about that though.
What's that?
If we were one of the bloodier seas people, so to say.
Oh, I don't know. There's been by this point most teams are developed, so like the blood flows pretty freely. This has probably been the chorfiest one of the minors, at least. Our season had almost no chorfs, almost no claw really. There was some necro teams, but
yeah, I think there's
really not a lot of.
Kanuki was the one claw well, Stake I guess too, but Stake Snurgle weren't super clawy until late in the season.
Yeah, he's real pillow-fisted.
Yeah, but yeah.
I mean, Stake's biggest claim to fame is making it to the playoffs with a negative TD differential.
I still have to do that, but well, I have to do that in the majors. But yeah, I don't know if Slade's gonna jump in here. I pinged him, but he also may be in Do Not Disturb mode because he's on his own stream. I know.
Yeah. He's on his own stream. I can pop in there real quick and
just yell at him to come in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was. Let's take a look at the Lackland Longtongues. 59% dodge success rate, and not many of those were Saurus dodges, so that's pretty rough. But overall, actually had pretty good block dice. 15 POWs to only 6 skulls, and then Terra Alliance also had pretty good block dice, rolled a lot of POWs, which definitely helped him get some removals there. And yeah, not much else to say. That was a very chorfy game.
Yeah, I'm just doing some admin stuff in the background, pinging the appropriate people. But yeah, that one out of control for Urse early on.
Yeah.
That in particular, the snake on the break tackle was just like soul crushing. I think Slade could have taken even more advantage of it than he did, but at that point, it was such a great tempo loss that that coupled with the injuries he suffered, the few turns after that were kind of like the nail in the coffin. It was really tough after that point. And then all of the little soft things and the important rolls after that were pretty unkind to him, so it was just kind of like a steady decline, unfortunately.
Yeah, I felt like the first 3 turns were going really well for the Wizards, actually, and credit where credit's due, he played a really good defensive half, not forcing a lot of dice out of the Chorfs, which they made, but, sometimes that happens, but yeah, it just feels like the first snake on the break tackle set the Chorf snowball in motion, and once that happens, it's about all you can do with it. And I think we are going to get Slade.
Yeah, we are going to get Slade. He's just curious of how we're going to do the interview.
Oh, yeah. I just told him to hop into the channel here. Yeah. Hello, how's it going? Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so at what point did it start to hit the point of like, oh my god, this is real, this is happening?
I would have to say when the Croxagore went down.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Yeah.
That was a big moment, yeah, indeed.
And I think a tough choice not to Apo, and certainly a debatable one.
Yeah, I honestly thought he was going to Apo that, because it's like, it's what I would have done.
On any badly hurt, you instantly Apo it. Once it hits the 50-50 range, especially where it's a 50-50 that isn't a permanent or a death, wherein you're more like, you're pushed more towards doing it because you want to save the player and win. It's really tough when it's an MNG, because it's like, you're coin flipping, and it, like, if you fail it, it feels so bad. But yeah, without the Chorf, he was really, or without the Crocs, he was really in trouble.
Yeah. Once the Crocs went down and he just started going down like bricks, it's like, okay, keep your cool, but I see it.
Yeah. Especially that turn as well was really devastating. Getting out that break, tackle, block, guard, Saurus as well on the same turn really kind of set the pace of their game after that.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel about playing with the big boys now? Coming up here.
Bring it on, bring it on.
Yeah.
know the brackets were drawn. I'm curious to see who you're
Oh,
playing.
that's a good point.
Yeah.
You probably don't know the person yet, but you probably know their position. So I'm gonna go find that.
Yeah. While he's
I
doing
think it's
that,
like
what have you and Urse played together before, or was that the first time you guys had met?
no, we had played against each other before. Last time I played against them, they won a 2-1 victory. That was right before the playoffs happened.
Yep.
So this probably feels
And-
extra sweet to take revenge in the minors finals, in the game that matters.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, it was pretty sweet. Honestly, I wasn't sure about Monster. Because I never saw any of his plays.
Yep.
Zendrake, I was a little worried just because of the fact that I had fought him like 2 or 3 times, and each time has either been a draw or a loss, and I've had heavy losses because of him.
Yeah.
But Urse,
He devastated Position Mike's team there in the beginning of the playoffs.
yeah, I saw that, and it was just
Yeah.
ugly.
Yeah, that was a really ugly match.
Well, your match might actually be a bit kind. It looks like it is one of the play-in qualifiers. It's not. It's going to be a team that has about 17 games under their belt, so it's not going to be a 2000 TV necro like I had to fight.
So you got a real shot here.
Yeah,
to
you could
be the
totally win
first
again.
minors coach ever to win their first ticket. Or the first
Well-
round, so to say.
So I'm curious to ask, in the first half, we were, even with the losses, we felt like Urse played a pretty good defense. What were you thinking around like turn 7, 8 when it kind of became a little bit of a scramble to get up the field and score?
Well, turn 6, I put the Hobgoblin behind my Bull Centaurs, because it's like, okay, I count out the movement. As long as he does full speed without GFIs, he'll be able to score by turn 8, because I want to delay him getting his KO checks. When he knocked the ball out, I was like, okay, there goes my scoring chance. I might as well just do some hits. And it wasn't until turn 8 that I saw, wait a minute, I have a reroll. I have a Bull Centaur right there. Let's just go for it. And sure enough, Sure Hands procced, got it to the Bull Centaur. Bull Centaur went down, and I was thinking it's going to fail on the GFIs. It's going to be a tripwire. It's going to be a tripwire.
Yeah, we
were
all three.
talking about that a lot.
Yeah, we all three sat here and kind of in amaze at that. Why Urse didn't decide to mark up both the Bull Centaurs or like touch the ball carrier really in that turn, so to say.
Yeah.
Funny enough, he actually mentioned that in our chat. He's like, I didn't realize that guy was close enough. And it's like, well, it was a low percentage chance because, pick up and then give to a Bull Centaur, then 3 GFIs.
Yeah. Very sad. But as it stands, the fact, congratulations to the win.
Thank you.
Yeah, congrats, man. You
Yeah.
joined a very exclusive club of 6 people, one of whom is in chat here with us. But what do you think you're gonna do to prepare for your playoff game? Obviously, nothing with your team, but mentally.
Same thing I've been doing since the start of Upstarts. Find out who my opponent is, watch a couple replays, figure out their playstyle, start building up a plan around them.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, good luck to you for that.
Yeah.
I've already pinged Herring Zord and Metal to let them know that you will be entering the cup in the Miners Champion place. I'm going to go to bed because it's getting kind of late.
All right.
Yeah, and thanks for hopping on the stream and giving a brief interview here. Best of luck in the playoffs. I'll be rooting for you for sure.
Thanks.
And yeah, I think I'm also going to cut the stream here. So I want to thank Dr. Hep, Shadora for being my co-casters. And
NPD.
No problem.
yeah, and Slade as well for hopping in here. And also commiserations and well thought to Urse. If you are
Yeah,
in
of
chat
course, of
or
course.
if you watch this. I do, before I sign off here, want to thank the 2 guys who followed. That would be the Bison and then Chojanals who I didn't shout out because it happened during the interview, but thank you very much for the follow. It means a lot. And thanks to everybody who tuned in. Hopefully there will be some more streams soon. Not this weekend because I'll be gone, but my Rel game will be Tuesday, so be sure to tune in then. And until next time, thanks for tuning in. Catch you on the flip side.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.